Video games have come a long way since their early days of simple shapes and blocky characters. Today, it's hard to believe that the same industry that gave us dots and pixels now delivers lifelike faces, cities, and worlds that look almost real. But many experts say we're reaching the point where game graphics can't get much better. The question is, why? Over the last few decades, gaming technology has advanced at an incredible pace. Each new generation of consoles and computers brought sharper images, more realistic lighting, and smoother animation. Players went from seeing flat backgrounds to exploring detailed 3D worlds with lifelike shadows and reflections. But as we've gotten closer to reality, every step forward has become harder, slower, and much more expensive. The main reason is that graphics depend heavily on hardware power. Early improvements came quickly because computers were getting faster and stronger each year. But now, we're reaching physical limits in how much performance chips can deliver without overheating or using too much energy. Making small improvements now requires far more resources than ever before, which means progress has slowed down. Another challenge is that realistic graphics are not just about power, they're about detail. To make a world look truly real, developers have to design everything, every leaf on a tree, every wrinkle on a face, every reflection in a window. This takes huge teams of artists, programmers, and animators working for years. As visuals get more complex, development time and cost rise dramatically, making it harder to go even further. Interestingly, human eyes are also part of the limit. There's a point where the difference between very realistic and perfectly realistic becomes almost impossible for most people to notice. For example, some of the newest games already use lighting so natural that our brains can't easily tell whether it's computer generated or a real photograph. Going beyond that level would require massive effort for very little visible change. Then there's the problem of diminishing returns. In the early 2000s, a new console might have doubled the visual quality of games overnight. Today, improvements are much smaller and less noticeable. A game from 5 years ago might not look that different from a game released today. Developers are still improving, but they're focusing more on performance, storytelling, and player immersion, rather than just visual upgrades. Some companies are turning to new methods instead of raw power. Technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning are being used to fill in missing details or improve lighting automatically. Ray tracing, for example, simulates how light actually moves and bounces off surfaces, creating incredibly realistic scenes without needing to hand design every pixel. But even these tools have limits. They can only work with the hardware available. Another factor is player experience. Games aren't judged by graphics alone anymore. Many players care more about smooth gameplay, interesting stories, and creative design than ultra-realistic visuals. Some of the most beloved games today, like Minecraft or Among Us, have very simple graphics but are still incredibly popular because they're fun, accessible, and imaginative. This shift means that developers don't always need to chase perfect realism to make a great game. There's also the cost to consider. Big budget games already take hundreds of millions of dollars and years to make. If studios tried to push graphics even further, they would need even more money and time, which can be risky. That's why many developers are now focusing on smarter techniques, like better animation, improved storytelling, or artistic styles that stand out rather than pure realism. Virtual reality is another area where limits are clear. To make VR look truly real, every frame has to be rendered twice, once for each eye, and it must run smoothly to avoid motion sickness. That means developers have to balance realism with performance. Too much detail can slow the experience while too little can break immersion. It's a constant challenge to find the right middle ground. So, are we really at the end of the road for better graphics? Not exactly. Improvements will continue, but they'll be smaller and more subtle. Instead of huge leaps forward, we'll see gentle refinements. Better lighting, smoother motion, more natural expressions. Games will feel better, not just look better. Developers will spend more time creating believable worlds through emotion, physics, and design rather than chasing the next graphical breakthrough. In the end, game graphics may be approaching their physical and practical limits, but creativity is not. As technology matures, developers can finally focus on what truly matters, how games make us feel, what stories they tell, and the experiences they create. The next great leap in gaming might not come from sharper pixels, but from deeper imagination. If you enjoyed this gentle look into the world of game technology, please like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more simple and fascinating stories like this one. Thank you for watching, and take care.